Peace, everybody. Welcome to the Fifth Quarter Podcast. This is Lighthouse. I'm with my brothers today. I got my man P Shack. I got Keys.
What's up, fellas?
I got Remy, please. Well, to start it off, we just had this AllStar weekend, or I guess day.
Yeah,
we just had that just passed us. One of a kind. First time we experienced this. We all know them AllStar weekends is, like I said, a weekend event. Start on Friday with the rookie game. Then you got the Saturday slam dunk contest. Sunday you got the actual game. This year it was all on one day. We had the slam dunk contest at halftime, the 3-point contest, all those other things at the beginning of the game. But before we even really get into the All-Star game, the question I want to ask y'all is, do y'all even think that all that was worth it with all the COVID shit and everything, like the presentation, how it all played out? Do y'all think it was worth the hassle to, get All-Star weekend or All-Star day going?
Yeah. It was,
it was good for what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, they gave us something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was, and at the end of the day, we can, we had our views even before this. We were like, oh, well, we don't really see the point. How you gonna have a slam dunk competition? They don't crowd. Then they did actually have a crowd to some extent. And I think that kind of also played into the overall, just, all right, this wasn't that bad type of feeling for me.
Yeah. I think just coming from just an all general sports fan, like, I wanted to see the action regardless, and I think I'm gonna get y'all opinion on this too later, but I actually don't mind them fitting all three of them into one day. Like, I kind of didn't mind it. It was like I didn't have to map my weekend around every single fucking day. It was like I knew that it was like all going to happen on one night. Yeah. So I kind of liked it, but
it do got a benefit if, shaking and moving during the day. If you can dedicate one Sunday, you know what I'm saying? If they would have started like all the events like that day, that should have been lit. Like, had skills challenge, had all that shit.
Right.
A little
so would y'all prefer? Would y'all prefer for it to stay under this format, or would y'all rather go back to how it was before?
I think
we didn't have a rookie. We didn't get a rookie game. We didn't get a rookie game.
We didn't get a rookie game.
Yeah. And a celebrity game, even though they had that bullshit 2-on-2 jump.
I ain't even
that
see
shit was
that.
terrible.
I ain't see it.
Somebody clearly shouldn't have been on the court, but that's
Lil Baby.
Lil Baby's looking ridiculous out there, sir.
But there's no way they're going to do that moving forward, because you want that TV time and advertisements to run Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like, there's no way they're going to move off that shit.
Yeah, and just the city that they have the All-Star game in general, like, that's a whole weekend of people hitting the bars, hitting the clubs, hotels. Right. Like, that's a lot of money for your city. They're going to go back. Ain't no way they just going to leave that to one day.
You heard they sent like 200 cease and desist orders to like local parties in Atlanta.
Yeah, I heard about that.
For using the logo and shit to like promote their after party or parties, watch parties.
Yeah, niggas just trying to come back up.
Yeah, it was motherfuckers was flocking to Atlanta. I knew motherfuckers at work that was flocked to Atlanta, but
I heard. I heard a lot of people went down there.
Yeah. You seen hoes ain't even have places to stay. Like,
that shit's crazy.
Yeah,
that's how it is. Just driving U-Haul trucks.
But I swear that wasn't that shit supposed to be in Indianapolis? Like, when did it move to? Like, when did it move to Atlanta? Like, that shit like happened overnight. I thought it was supposed to be in Indianapolis. Like,
where was the last one at?
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
I don't know why I thought that one was in Indianapolis.
What did y'all think about the overall events, like the skills challenge, 3-point dunk contest? Like, what was y'all overall outlook?
I didn't see the skills, but I did see the 3-point and the dunk contest. That's why I kind of made up for it, because Steph showed his ass in the 3-point, and like that's what it's for. Like, some players get it, and some players kind of like freeze up and like, oh yeah, like am I supposed to be here and shit, or they just don't they don't know how to, like, play
be in the moment.
They don't know how to like captivate, you know, be
But
entertained.
They weren't an all-star.
Right.
They weren't being an all-star.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. It's
being
about
like
showboating.
the entertainer. They don't know how to entertain and separate the two. But yeah, Steph did that
know
shit.
how to entertain.
Yeah,
Steph definitely know how to entertain.
Right. I would have gave him the MVP.
He made it entertaining.
Yeah.
Like, the last shot, Moneyball.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, come on.
Him and Dame when they was pulling up from like half court, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that shit was sick.
That was
It was looking
entertaining.
so fucking easy. Yeah,
that was entertaining like shit.
And even Steph
but I
called the
liked
oop
it.
and Chris Paul called the oop. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Shit,
that's the type of shit.
out of me.
Yeah, that did surprise.
Yeah, but now remember, Chris Paul caught a oop last year too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did in the game
last year.
Yeah.
But I agree with that. I think just because you know Dame and Steph, they pretty much got their reputation for that they long range. So to see Dame just pulling up, because for real, from what I remember, Dame pulled up behind the line, and I think Steph shot his joint like a foot in front of the line. But either way, I thought it was incredible because Steph literally watched this nigga drop a half court shot, and he was like, "My turn."
Right.
And he switched that shit like first try. I was like, "God damn!"
Right.
He switched that shit first try.
Yeah. It was almost like when watching, you knew he was gonna win the damn 3-point. You could literally like once the first round went through, you was like, "Oh, these niggas they don't know what's going on."
But I think it was dope that Conley got in there. You know, I think he was a backup. So he gave Steph some comp that second round in the 3-point contest. And I think that's why Steph had to show out, you know what I'm saying? Because if he didn't have whatever, I think it was like 23, 24, then Steph, you know how he does. If he ain't got no comp, he just play around. But that's it. It was some competition.
I think the nastiest dunk to me that night was when Slim when Slim grabbed the basketball off the glass and jammed the joint.
Anthony Simons.
Yeah, Anthony. Yeah. Well, I think just because of I just think the bounce on that was just ridiculous.
I
actually like that
was ridiculous.
Yeah,
I like no because he like 6'3", but his head be like above the rim. He like 6'3".
Yeah,
right.
I like that jump, the kiss the rim jump.
Yeah, I was about to say that was my favorite joint. Yeah. Like he got scared at the end. You can tell he got a little scared because he was like, "Oh,
cuz I'm up here."
Yeah, I mean, I personally thought like the dunk contest could have been better. What's the name? Cassian Stanley was it? And he didn't seem prepared, and his bounce was stupid. Like I was expecting him to win. But his first dunk was nasty. How you like kick the leg out there
to come out. That was the first one, right?
Yeah,
yeah. That shit was nasty.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, okay, here we are.
Yep. Yeah. So like speaking of dunk contest, man, like who do y'all like? What's the greatest dunk contest of all?
I know a lot of people gonna go for that Vince Carter joint when he had his arm inside the rim. I know a lot of people gonna go with that one. But I'm still going with Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine. 2 years ago? That shit was phenomenal. And I feel like if Zach and Aaron Gordon were like bigger stars, it would have got more, recognition. Because like that shit he did, ain't that the joint when the
look at this
was ridiculous. Then he caught the joint. The joint was spinning on a hoverboard, and he jumped and caught this shit off his head and put it under his leg. Like nigga, that don't make no sense. That shit, like you shouldn't be able to do shit like that.
And he took like a full
and he didn't win.
A full seat in the air.
And he didn't win.
Right, he didn't win.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Look at this shit.
Yeah.
That to me, that's the greatest one, that dunk contest, man. But it just didn't. But I think that the thing with dunk contest, I feel like they got to have star power for people to really appreciate them. Because if you a no-name dude and do a spectacular dunk, I mean, people might like it, but they're not going to remember it as much as if you like a star, you know what I'm saying, who did some shit like that. So so I think that's kind of why that dunk contest was a little underrated. And then you got other guys like Jason Richardson. He had some spectacular dunks. People forgot all about him because he wasn't like a superstar. Who else, man? It was a couple other people that had like some great dunk contests. What's his name? Ross from
Terrence Ross.
I think Terrence Ross. He had some great shit too. Yeah, Terrence Ross, but like he's just like a 6-man type nigga, so he's not gonna get that same appreciation. But it's a lot of good dunkers out there.
Hell yeah. I would probably you're absolutely Marcus. I'm going with the Vince Carter joint. That was a 2000. I'll never forget that shit that night. Like I remember the next week at school.
Oh yeah,
that's all niggas talked
that
about.
joint had star power though. That joint had big star power.
That shit was ridiculous. And
Tracy
honestly,
McGrady.
Exactly. And then guess what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I had never seen nothing like that, like in my life at that point. Like nothing like that. The star power that was in it, and me actually getting to the point where I understood what the game of basketball was. That not only just that dunk just with Vince Carter, but just that whole that dunk contest in general was just incredible. And to just end it with it's over.
Yeah.
That's gonna forever be a staple.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember all the people was in there?
Yeah.
It was Vince Carter, Ricky Davis, Steve Francis, Larry Hughes,
Jerry
Stackhouse. Like it had some names.
Hey, they was out there.
Hey, the whole time that dunk might not even been his final dunk, right? If I'm not
that was the first one.
Yeah, okay.
That's why
That was like the windmill joint, right? Wasn't that the windmill? The reverse windmill? I think that's what that was. Yeah.
Yep.
And then he did then he did the between the legs joint. And then I think he did the last one was the arm in the ring. And I remember when that joint happened, niggas didn't even know what happened. Like I remember he did that shit, the crowd didn't make no noise. And then they went to the replay, and that's when everybody lost it. Because I ain't never seen no shit like that before.
I remember I taped that jump. I taped that jump on VCR. I know all he did the windmill jump, then he did the drop step jump that looked the exact same from behind the basket. Then he did the under the legs jump. Then he did the elbow, and then he tried to jump from the free throw with two hands, but it was like one step in front of the jump. Like I remember all of the
you sound like you still got a VCR player. You still watch that joke.
But people sleep because Ricky Davis had a mean ass dunk in that jump too. He did like a underneath the leg or reverse jump. Like, that shit was tough.
Man, they had rounds. Like
that shit was crazy.
It wasn't easy to win that shit.
Yeah.
and I like the sheer amount of people that was in that joint. It was it was like six people
it used to be
back
six
to back.
dunkers.
Like like I felt like that whole dunk contest went on. Like you know what I'm saying? Like these days it seemed like it's a couple dunks and then it's over. Yeah. But
they
I'm gonna throw it
this
back
year because it was halftime.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw it back to 1988 with Jordan's infamous dunk. I think Dominique Wilkins was in that contest as
He beat him twice.
So and Dominique Wilkins, if you look at some of them dunks he had in that contest, that shit, them shits was mean too. So I'm gonna throw that one in there
with the threes on. Was it the threes?
I think it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
Out there walking on air.
Was it the cements?
With the chain, with the gold chain.
Yep.
Nah, it was the white joint.
The white threes, yeah.
It was the white threes, yeah.
What you got, Al? Best dunk contest of all time.
Since y'all talking about shoes, I'm gonna talk about one. This is a little bit different, and I don't know if it's necessarily one of the best dunk contests, but I think the jump is underrated. The Gerald Green between the legs with no shoes on, like he took his shoes off, and then between the legs though.
Yeah.
And like the degree of difficulty just makes me always want to put that jump in the conversation, because if you like think about just going and like running and like doing a layup with your shoes off, let alone going in front of, I don't know how many people was there, but going between your legs and doing that jump. He did that jump easily, like off like 3 steps between the legs. Like, and he got a nice little dunk contest.
Nah, Gerald Green, he got legendary hops though. Like he got all-time great. He does though. It's ridiculous. Look at his highlights on YouTube. That shit is crazy.
Yes. So I always want to throw that joint in there because that joint was so different. And like I said, just thinking about like trying to walk on hardwood floors with socks on, let alone running and trying to dunk.
Yeah.
Hey, some of them.
Just real quick, just not to get off topic too much, but Gerald Green has all the physical ability. Like, what was his like? Why didn't he, ascend to stardom? Like he has it all. You know what I'm saying? Like I never could put that never understood that. He was out the league for like a couple years.
Yeah, that brings me to my favorite dunk contest of all time. And I teased this joint like a couple weeks ago. It was Gerald Green versus James White in the Euro League, and them niggas went dummy. Is this if you can find this shit on YouTube, it's both of them going head to head, and Gerald Green got them cherry 12s, and they were going dummy.
Is that the one with Flight White was doing all his dunks from the free throw line?
Yeah, he did the 2-hand windmill, the windmill from the free throw. He didn't do the under the legs jump in that jump, but he was down there close to it. But yeah,
I think it's just taking off.
Yep, Joe Green and James Flight White.
Where he from?
Right
damn, look at
DC.
James White, where he from?
Okay, he from here. He went to like Hargrave, I think.
They got whole torsos about it.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say that some of the I remember some of the McDonald the college dunk contest that they had. Some of them joints, I think last year's was pretty good, if I'm not mistaken.
Even it's always a like motherfucker that kind of like vanishes like out of obscurity between like the college ranks and the NBA, but that show off like McDonald's.
Yeah.
But David Lee beat James White in the McDonald's dunk contest. Y'all remember that?
David Lee.
Yeah,
that sounds crazy.
Yeah. Right, and then both of them went to Florida.
That's funny.
Yeah.
No, but Marcus made a good point too about never really like hitting his potential. And I was thinking about like Aaron Gordon, like how he has all the athleticism. But if you look at Zach LaVine, when he first came in the league, all he really had was hops. But that Bama, he's like all around game now, like scorer, shooter,
he's a killer.
Defender. Yeah,
he's a killer.
So it's like, what is it? That didn't let them kind of go to that amount? Is it just work ethic? I don't know.
Hey, what's the reason you think LeBron never participated in the dunk contest? Be always doing the shit during layup lines and shit. Like,
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna take a wild guess. Maybe it's because of his name and who he is, and it's like if LeBron don't win the slam dunk contest, it means way more for him to lose a slam dunk contest probably than anybody else. So you know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's just a guess. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just because of his name.
I can see that.
I can see that too.
I think that's it. And I think he missed his. I don't want to say he missed his peak. Like he can't do the dunks anymore. But I think if he'd have did it like when he first came in the league, the same way Kobe did it the first 2 or 3 years when he first came in the league, and then he stopped doing it after that. I think if LeBron would have done it then it would have been like, all right, maybe, you know what I'm saying, he would have done it. But I think his name started to get too big. And as you said, Marcus, it was just like, if I lose, like, you know what I'm saying, it'll be too much. Because I remember it was that 1 year where it was like that 1 year where he was, I don't know if he was at the dunk contest or whatever was going on with the dunk contest, but it was like a live dunk contest. It was hype, and then he said he was going to enter it next year, and then literally it was
I remember that.
After that,
I remember that. Yeah,
you know what he doing.
But it's funny because all the top dunkers I can think of all played in that shit at least once. McGrady did it. Vince Carter did it. Who was like some high flyers? Like I guess everybody. Kobe did it. Who else was like a dunker? They all did that shit. Maury Stoudemire did that shit. Dwight Howard did it.
Dr. J. Jordan.
I think LeBron might be the only like real dunker that never did that shit.
Right.
I'm really thinking about Steve Francis did it.
Yeah.
Zion got to do that shit. Like Zion got to do that shit like next year or never. Like he got to do that shit.
He might drop a little weight to do that shit.
Yeah.
Ja Morant said he's not doing it.
Gonna break some shit.
Oh yeah, Ja Morant would be good. Yeah,
Ja Morant said he's not doing it.
Oh, he not?
Oh, he not
ever? Damn.
He said he's not gonna do it because the score's too. What he said it after this dunk contest. He said the scorecards or the judges be so janky.
So, yeah, but the point is, put on
participating, right? Do it for
just put on the show, nigga.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so
did y'all already talk about that Anthony Simmons jump?
Yeah,
he had a couple nice little jumps.
Yeah,
I think that kissed the rim jump, I didn't know he had that much bounce, and I think he was smart about not necessarily get too close to kiss the rim.
That shit was crazy.
Because if you kiss the rim, you bust your lip.
Right.
The thing is, you had to keep a good distance to like really flush it, to fully extend your arm to flush it. So yeah.
And the other one, I just wanted more flair from the grabbing it from the 12 feet or 11 feet from off the other. Like even if you just like go up to it and like walk up to the rim and show how tall that Joan is compared to or something.
Yeah, because it ended so fast. It was like he went up and he just came down.
Yeah, and I think that was missing from this dunk contest in general. Like granted, the Blake Griffin dunk, don't get me wrong, that's probably one of the top memorable dunks. It's not one of the best dunks of all time in the dunk contest, but the flair and everything that came along with it, like the hype in the car and the choir coming out and singing and Baron Davis throwing the lob and all that good shit. That junk made it one of the best dunks in the dunk contest of all time, even though it was literally just jumping over.
That's what Rez was saying in the beginning. That flair, being an all-star.
JaVale McGee got robbed that dunk contest.
He did. I still believe that because he dunked it in two courts. He did it in two courts at the same time.
Yeah, and he like a 7-footer, but he won the dunk contest, in my opinion. But the NBA, that's when the NBA was pushing Blake Griffin hard. Like you could tell they was trying to make him like kind of how like Zion is now. Like they was pushing him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, so like with LeBron deflecting the dunk contest, avoiding the shit in the news, or he was asked the other day, does he plan on getting the vaccine? He said he wants to keep that private. What do y'all make of that situation?
That he don't want to take that shit. but he don't want to tell y'all. He don't want to tell y'all not to take it. You know what I'm saying? So he's just like, nah, I'm just not gonna say nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's kind of how I take it. Because I mean, and his name is LeBron James, so what he says means a lot. You know what I'm saying? He's the face of the NBA, so like, for him to, if LeBron James were to come out and say, "Nah, I'm not taking the vaccine," that's a nuclear bomb. They'll be talking about that shit for the next goddamn 2 weeks. About what I'm saying? It's just. Especially not with all the COVID-19 protocols in place that they're playing in a bubble. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it'd be like completely going against what the NBA is trying to do. You know what I mean? It's just weird.
Yeah. To keep it all the way real, like this nigga, that sounds like very hypocritical because you sell Nikes, you tell people to buy Nikes, that shit could be made in sweatshops. I mean, it was at one point. You tell niggas to fucking drink Sprite. That shit got high fructose corn syrup. Tell motherfuckers to eat McDonald's and all that shit. That shit is terrible for you. But now you give a fuck about somebody's health, or you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You don't want to push that on somebody. That's kind of hypocritical. Like you're still selling your brand, like NBA and this whole, they're the face of COVID as far as like sports is involved. So I don't know. It's kind of hypocritical.
But I'm pretty sure that Dave probably advised that nigga don't say shit about that. You know what I'm saying? Don't say nothing about nothing when it comes to that.
And believe me, NBA is doing probably the best job at, quote unquote, COVID and shit. But
yeah. Because the thing is with the vaccine, it's a lot of uncertainty. So they don't want the biggest star probably like biggest athlete in the world to be like, go ahead and take the vaccine, and then it backlashes and shit, and then niggas gonna be looking at LeBron like, nigga, you told us to take this vaccine and this shit, you know what I'm saying? Fucking people over.
But that's what anything.
The fact that LeBron, as much influence as LeBron has, and let's say that somebody was like, hey, LeBron, we only want you to speak on it, that says a lot about how people truly feel behind the scenes about this vaccine, that they don't even want that nigga to speak on it, because if there's backlash, it's gonna make him look bad, whoever is behind him look bad. So it's like, you just gotta keep your mouth shut.
That's interesting too, because y'all seen the commercials with like Bill Russell and all of them older retired players talking about, I won't miss this one, I'll get the vaccine. So it's like, it's so weird, man. It's like they pushing the motive on one angle, but then they don't about it on they don't want the NBA to be tied to it directly. So it's just It's crazy. Have y'all seen no commercials?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I was the only one.
There was a couple other people that said that didn't say anything about the vaccine either. And I know we're talking about LeBron, but I know James Harden among like a couple of other superstars. I want to say maybe even CJ McCollum, but I think the thing with LeBron is like I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I mean, we already know, regardless of whatever way, it's going to be backlash on whatever side. So if he says he's going to take the jump, then it's going to be like, do you have all the research? And people going to question him and do all that. But the same way, if he say he's not going to take the jump, then it's going to be like, why aren't you taking it? And he would have got questions like the same way he get questions about everything. So I don't even see nothing wrong with it. With him remaining hush hush in this jump, especially because he didn't say like yes or no. Like he literally just said, like, I'm talking about it with my family, and for real, like with this jump, that jump can be a decision for the family for real. Like, I mean, I know you're a public figure, but like, I don't really care what. I mean, like that jump shouldn't sway anybody else's decision making. That jump should make you do your own research. Like getting the vaccine should make you do your own research. So, like, if I don't know.
Well, I see what you're saying. I mean, I don't think that it's a right or wrong thing that he did at all. Like he's definitely entitled to whatever he wants to say, but at the same time, you are LeBron James.
But the thing is, they put the microphone in front of his face any other time when he wants to, speak about other issues, or you know what I'm saying. So like,
he might not have a lot of facts this time.
But you can't pick and choose. That's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta know you're a celebrity. I say this shit all the time, but you can't pick and choose when you want to. You know what I mean? When you want to speak up about certain issues, whether it be health, politics, social shit. Like, if you're not taking it, just say, you know what I mean, I gotta do more research, or you know what I'm saying. This is like saying, like, you know what I mean, mind your fucking business.
Hey,
but I think. Go ahead.
But at the same time, even if he would have said like, I got to do more research, you'll think like he would have got overwhelmed with like even follow-up questions. Basically, like, what do you mean you have to do more research? There have been so many X, Y, and Z studies, and then all the like Dr. Fauci's and everybody else would have been calling his line and hitting his line. And don't get me wrong, like I know he's supposed to be at AllStar Weekend, but this nigga might be like really trying to focus on basketball at the moment.
Yeah. Well, you can say that. Well, I'll make a decision after the season.
That's true.
I mean, we done made it this far. Fuck it. Shit. You see what Stephen A. said about this nigga?
What do you say?
LeBron James should be.
I don't know. Stephen A. be all over the place sometimes.
Right. Look at this.
I don't know. Like
black people are dying. Where's black people gotta do it?
But then sometimes he just be like, nigga, what? Like, I don't know. He be all over the place sometimes.
He said black people are dying. How dare you, LeBron? When there's black people dying.
Because he's
black. He trying to put it on LeBron. God damn.
But you see what I'm saying? But this is
it's LeBron's responsibility to the blacks. Is that what he trying to say?
Damn.
Is that what he said? Like niggas should not be following. Like you were saying earlier, Alex. Like niggas should not be sitting around trying to decide if they're gonna take the vaccine because of what LeBron said. That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying?
But see, that it shouldn't make sense.
Right,
but niggas is still getting that fucking McDonald's meal because of damn Travis Scott. So it's like it's like damn.
But that says a lot about
that much. Yeah, they shouldn't have that much influence, but they do. Bro.
They shouldn't,
it's
but they
crazy.
do. They do. You right? You're 100%. You're 100%.
That shit crazy. But yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
I mean, well, shit. Speaking of doing what you want to do, Russell Wilson, he seemed like he trying to do what he want to do up in Seattle because he talking about his unhappiness there, and he seemed like he just trying to get up out the city. He talking about teams that he want to go to, all this, all that kind of just confusion going on. But from your perspective, do you think he's entitled to his unhappiness in Seattle, or do you think he being selfish?
Yeah, it's too gloomy. It's too gloomy there. Come to DC, bro.
Hey, I'll take him in, like, bruh,
in the heartbeat,
nigga. Let us get Russell. Let us get Russell Wilson. And he fit the offense though. He be exactly what we need.
Like shit. But I think to a certain extent though, Russell Wilson. I mean, he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. And he's always had I don't know. Like this nigga, I feel like if a quarterback gets paid the amount of money that he gets paid, how if the team is I say handicap, if the team is salary cap like handicapped by that shit,
Yeah, for sure.
like what I don't see you coming out saying, oh, you taking a pay cut
Like Tom
or
Brady.
yeah, I don't see you taking
Yeah.
no pay cuts or anything. And I'm not saying that Russell Wilson, you're not entitled to that bread because you definitely earned it. But at the same time, there are other quarterbacks around the league that once they get that check, they know that my offensive line ain't gonna be too shabby. You know what I'm saying? They not gonna. I'm gonna have a suspect defense. I'm gonna have a suspect maybe other parts of the team just simply because of the contract that I had.
Yeah, you right, B, because like when you really like look at what's going
What are they
on there,
supposed to do?
they have yeah, look at that cap space.
Look at that shit. What are they supposed to do? They better go to the dollar store.
They have nothing in cap space, and they just let go like Carlos Dunlap, I think.
Man, they about to let
The
go of
free
a
us
couple
back.
more players.
And also, you know,
Hey,
the
but you don't
cap
think
came down this year. It went from like 196 to like 185.
Yeah,
so
they lowered it. Yep.
yeah,
hey,
you
so
got
y'all
like
don't think
nothing
any of
to
that?
work with.
Maybe y'all think because he can see the lack of wiggle room to improve the team. Maybe that's why he's trying to get out because he can clearly see that they can't do much to help.
Like the
to help
writings on the
team.
wall. The writings on
Yeah,
the
he
wall.
can see it. You know what I'm saying?
And they only got
So
4
put it like
draft
this: with
picks.
that much cap space, and with that much cap space, it's pretty much guaranteed he's gonna be getting beat up next season. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
true.
You want to go through that again?
They only got
You know?
4 draft picks.
And they only got 4 draft picks. That's why he's trying to get out of town. Like he can see, he's seeing the decline. He can see it. He see it coming. That's what this shit is all about.
And they have
He's trying to get
22
out of
unrestricted free agents. You have 22 unrestricted free agents.
Yeah, he trying to get out of there.
And less than 10 mil in cap space.
And guess what they're gonna have to
he
do in like
we
another
already
2
see.
years? They're gonna have to pay DK
Hey.
Metcalf, and I think
Yep.
they also are going to have to pay. Is Lockett locked up?
No, he probably
I don't
part
know.
of 22. Yeah,
But I think he's a top 10 receiver.
yeah, possibly.
So he going one. I don't know.
They wagered their future
Yeah.
for Jamal Adams, and that's how they gave up all them damn draft picks.
Yep.
Yep. This is the beginning of the decline of Seattle. Seattle going to be like a bottom 5 team in probably about 2-3 years. Like it's coming.
4 draft picks? Like you shouldn't even be able to do that.
I know. 4
Like that's
draft picks.
crazy. That's just like you might as well just get them up, bro. To the Redskins.
Russell Wilson stormed out. And this was February 25th.
Yeah,
but remember he was beefing with the what's it called, the Legion of Doom or whatever, with the Legion of Boom and shit. Like I think what's his name, Sherman, and like some of those other guys, they wasn't fucking with him because I forgot exactly what it was, but it was like that issue between Marshawn Lynch and Pete Carroll. And it's like I guess the team sided more with Russell Wilson or some shit like that. But they had like some sort of issue in the locker room where the team wasn't fucking with Russell Wilson. He kind of like alienated from the rest of the guys. So
it's probably that Super Bowl where they knew they should have. It was that Super Bowl when they knew they should have been running on with Marshawn Lynch, and they threw that shit. And they knew they was a defensive led team, but they defensive led team followed by the run game, but they threw that shit on the goal line.
So yeah. Beginning in with them, but you know, we got a little bit of so you know, big fucking story in the NFL. Dak finally got fucking paid, man. What's up with that though? Come on, Alex, you the resident Cowboys fan, man. How you feel about Dak finally getting his money?
Hey man, I love to see it. I love to see it. I think the numbers is astronomical and the numbers is crazy, but the jump, like even. I think this shit is like masterful, like how like not only like the Cowboys, but how NFL teams manipulate salary caps and manipulate different things with the signing bonuses and different things where he's getting $75 million this year, but only like $9 million on the cap hit and all that good shit.
Didn't we get penalized for doing that shit before?
I think so. Probably.
He said, "I think so."
And then we got then we just restructured 3 of our offensive linemen's cap to create even more cap space and some more shit. So I think, man, I think it sets us up for some good space. we'll talk about this in the coming weeks, but I think it sets us up for a good run on free agents.
You think so?
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, once again, I think we'll talk about it in a little bit, but I think in a coming episode. But I think like it allows us the opportunity to make some moves in the free agency because I mean we got like 11. We had like $10 million in space before this, and then like with the restructure of those 3 offensive linemen, we created like 17 more million in cap space. And then everybody is getting released. Like this, not even just like Cowboys or Redskins or everybody's getting released, and everybody be doing like these 1-year deals to create some cap space for their own teams and to create some flexibility. So everybody gonna be on a 1-year deal for
1-year deal is the new thing. That's what it's about.
That all that money.
But this nigga, this should say 126 guaranteed.
That's a lot, bro.
Guaranteed.
Hey, Al. Well, last question. You think he gonna really be 100%, like mobility wise? You think he gonna be 100%?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
All right.
It wasn't his knee. Key thing, it was not his knee. You know, knees be fucking niggas' careers up. That was his ankle. So I think you can come back from an ankle, but like y'all are fortunate that shit wasn't his knee. You know what I'm saying? So I think he'll be all right.
Grant Hill. Not if you Grant Hill.
But
yeah, that was a high ankle. That was a high ankle too.
Yeah.
Damn
That's where he fucked up at. But that's where he fucked up at because ain't nobody had a Fila deal since that nigga. Nobody.
God damn.
That was 30 years ago, nigga. That was like 30 years ago. Crazy.
Forever, I love Atlanta.
Well, not the one close to it.
Yeah, that's a lot of money to come in second place. But
Tell him again. He ain't catch it. Tell him again.
I said it's a lot of money to come in second place, but you know who ain't second place? The Fifth Quarter Podcast.
Absolutely.
The first place on as far as sports podcasts, first place in your hearts. But yeah, it's not a good episode. Be sure to check out our merch. Be sure to check out us on all forms of social media. We are also running a raffle to win you some Adidas, not Filas, some exclusive Adidas. So check us out on social media to see how you enter. Absolutely. It's the Flight Room Podcast, big baby. Fifth Quarter Podcast. See ya.
Good day.